さいバラにもトゲはあるんですよ。
Hello everybody and welcome to another video looking at Dead or Alive 6. I have done a few of these in the past, as you may have noticed. I've got another one for you today, and that's because Koei Tecmo is very good at getting the DLC out there for us to enjoy. This time around we've got summer dresses to play around with, the very long, elegant, graceful dresses that you're seeing on the screen there in front of you. Each of the Dead or Alive ladies has one of these in the new pack, and yeah, I'm here to have a quick chat about those. As a bit of housekeeping before I get into the video proper, this has been recorded on a Pro 480 headset which was sent to me by 4Gamers to test. I will have a review of that up on digitallydownloaded.net soon as well. But let's talk about the Dead or Alive and the costumes, because that's why we're here. So you may have noticed, if you follow the news in Japan like I do, that they are going through one hell of a summer at the moment. It's one of the hottest summers on record, and thanks climate change for that. But that makes the summer dress theme really appropriate for this time of year, because summer dresses are obviously designed for summer. They're very lightweight, they're very airy, breezy, very comfortable clothing for the extreme heat. And that's a really neat tie-in, I guess, to the season. And it's something that Dead or Alive hasn't really been able to do in the past so well. This is something that I think Dead or Alive 6 is capable of for the first time. And that's because when you think about it, a dress of that style, the kind of long, flowing, light material dresses, they're very hard to do from a technical and animation point of view. From a technical point of view, there's a lot of moving parts in a dress like this, and you'll see it on the screen here in front of you. There's a lot that goes into making these dresses move, and that's quite processor intensive. From an animation point of view, it also provides all kinds of challenges, because clipping becomes such a major issue. And if you play one of the earlier Dead or Alive games, whenever there's a long dress involved, there's always real clipping issues where even in the heat of the fight, even when the action's going really fast, it's quite noticeable that arms and legs are kind of sticking through the dress in a very awkward and visually unappealing way. So Dead or Alive 6, it's not perfect in that regard, but as you can see, it's pretty damn good. It's really impressive just how much they've managed to animate these dresses in a kind of naturalistic and realistic way. And clipping is really not an issue with these dresses. If you pause the game, for instance, if you go into the photo mode to take photos of various still moments within the action, then yes, you do see some clipping here and there. You're always going to do that because you're pausing the game in, within frames of one another. But in action, when the actual movement's happening, when the fighting's happening, it's not nearly as noticeable as in previous games. Instead, you just get to enjoy the movement of the dress and the kind of the elegance of it, which is great. And like I said, this is something that Dead or Alive 6 is capable of that I don't think previous Dead or Alive games are. So the team's really showing off an additional range that it's got in terms of the costume design and the aesthetics, and it bodes well for the future of Dead or Alive 6 in terms of other DLC and what the developers will be able to do in terms of more creative ideas than what we may have seen in the past. Now, I'm obviously a big fan of swimsuits and other body-hugging bits of fashion, and I've always appreciated Dead or Alive's ability to give me a huge range of different costumes to really customize my character with. So Dead or Alive 5 last round had 50 or 60 different costumes for each character, and that was really great. But I always felt it was slightly limited in that the engine really only worked with those skin-tight, body-hugging bits of fan service, because the minute there was a lot of material involved, there were those clipping issues that came into the action, and those costumes never looked as good to me as the ones where the girls were basically wearing clothing that didn't move. So for me, Dead or Alive 6 offers a greater range of fan service, because make no mistake, while these are long flowing dresses, they are very fan servicey. They're very sexy in nature. They're a different kind of sexy because it's that kind of elegant thing, and a lot of the costumes don't get too heavy on the upskirts and the panties. Cockroach here, which you're seeing on the screen, is a little bit different, but a lot of the characters are much more subtle with the sexiness about these costumes. But they are very, very elegant, graceful, very beautiful costumes that really go to show, I guess, the character's personality and stuff. So it is a different kind of fan service. It's a good kind of fan service, and I'm a big fan of it as fan service. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next for Koei Tecmo. I'm looking forward to seeing how they can implement more flowing clothes in more ways to, again, increase that variety in terms of when you're choosing your character and when you're putting whatever costume on them. The variety will be much greater, I think, across the lifespan of Dead or Alive 6. As for criticisms of this DLC, standard stuff really, it's expensive, so if you buy the season pass, it's a very expensive way of doing things, and depending on the market that you're in, you don't necessarily have the option of buying the costumes separately and all that kind of stuff, which has been done to death in other topics, so I'm not going to talk about it here again. The other issue that I have is that the DLC characters that have come in from the SNK series, they don't get summer dresses, and again, that's disappointing. It was an issue that I had with the swimsuit costumes that came out a couple of weeks ago. For some reason, Koei is not giving the DLC characters the costumes as well, and that just means that those DLC characters feel like they're missing out and there's less to them, and they don't feel like they're properly integrated within the game. So I'm not happy about that, but I'm really happy about Marie Rose's costume, to be honest. Everybody knows I love Marie Rose, but this orange dress that she's got is just so beautiful and elegant, and yeah, it's like I've said already in the video, it's just such a different type of fan service, and I really love it. I think that this is one of my favourite costumes that Marie Rose has ever had, to be honest, and I really do have them all across Dead or Alive 5 and Dead or Alive 6, so well done, Koei Tecmo. Alright, thanks for watching that video. This video, it is a short one. I mean, there's only so much you can say about each costume release, but I do want to cover them because I just like this game so much, and I like the costumes, so I'm indulging myself a little bit when doing these videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching as always. I appreciate it. If you do enjoy my videos, please do back me on Patreon. It really does help me do more of them, and I do give you visual novels now. If you back me on Patreon for even $1 a month, you will get access to all the visual novels as I make them, and I'm looking at doing one every 2 to 3 months. So there's already one there. You get that as soon as you sign up to the Patreon. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Do tune in to digitallydownloaded.net for plenty of my written words, and otherwise I will see you at the next video.